I would love to pick up some pumpkins. Give y'all a little bit of a sneak peek as to what my decor is looking like. My mom doesn't know what a midnight margarita is, and I'm like, we have to fix this. Okay, I have no clue if I am even properly in frame. Trying a new setup here for the camera while I'm in the car so I can do this safely. So if I'm not fully in frame, you're gonna have to excuse that, okay? I'm trying to be safe and I'm trying to make sure I don't give my husband a heart attack. So there you go. But in any case, welcome back to my channel. We're now in the first week of October. Well, yeah, technically first week of October because it's Saturday. But we are currently out today, even though I slept ridiculously late. We are currently out today to do some hopefully autumn-esque and witchy things. Hold on, trying to see if I can get around this slow driver right now, who honestly needs to be a slow driver anyway because he's got something hanging out the back. What was I saying? Yes. So, we're trying to do autumn things today, even though it is currently 87 degrees, and we might be reaching 90 degrees at some point this week, and then we're going to drop down into the 70s. Yeah, autumn isn't autumn around here, and I'm not happy about it. But I'm trying to go to a pumpkin patch because I would love to pick up some pumpkins. We had somebody come over recently and trim all of the bushes and clean all of the dead parts of the bushes in our front yard. And I realized it is now the perfect spot to put some pumpkins and maybe a couple of other things so I can kind of make that a low-key witchy spot to put things out to charge in the under the moonlight as necessary. So that's my goal. Whether or not it's going to happen the way I want it to is up for debate, because I'm also not too sure how much these pumpkins are going to cost. They're a cash and check only location. But first, since it is 87 degrees and I have had my gallbladder surgery, I will update y'all on that later in this video. Don't worry, I promise. But because I have had my gallbladder surgery and I can now handle fatty foods again, I can't go to the Sydney area and I can't go to Negangard's pumpkin patch without stopping by the Sydney Dairy Barn. So we're gonna get some pumpkin ice cream before we go to the pumpkin patch. Thank you. Shaking hand, now to Negangard's. Wow. Gosh, I'm warm. So, we got the pumpkins, and my hands are dirty. Actually, hold on. No. Wipe them on the melted milkshake. I tried walking around with that, and then I realized that was going to be a problem, so I at least got some. And now it's more like pumpkin soup, but I'll take it. Which reminds me, I should make pumpkin soup tomorrow. I think this is the right way. Is this not? Come on. Am I going the right way? Yes, okay. Nope, I'm
We're all
not.
set. Let's go.
Dang it.
Onto County Road 1900 East.
Actually, you know what? Okay. We're in the middle of the country, and there's nobody coming. So I'm gonna do a U-E. Here we go. All right. So I got, so it's a 20, 2 6s, 2 5s, and 2 4s. So 2, 2, 2, 7. So I got 7 pumpkins to put out into my front yard, actually by the bushes. And I'm gonna wait until a week before Halloween to carve the ones that I want to carve. The other ones I'm just gonna decorate as is and like add different things to it and whatnot. Such as like drawing faces on, or, oh, that's why the AC is off. I'm an idiot because it got too cold earlier. So I'm gonna draw some faces on and then use those faces as the guidelines for when I'm going to eventually carve. I had to get real careful though picking some of those pumpkins, like the big one, because I'm currently under a lifting limit of 25 pounds. So I can't lift anything over 25 pounds. The problem is that it's hard for me to gauge what is 25 pounds and what is not. So if I have to, if it pulls slightly wrong, even a twinge, I know I can't lift it. So I had to go for a smaller pumpkin than I originally wanted for a couple of spots, but that's fine. We're good. It's all good. It's still gonna be pretty. So now, with it being 5:30, I'm not gonna make it out to one spot I wanted to today, which is fine. I got up super late at one. But I can head out there tomorrow. But what I do need to do is stop by the grocery store and pick up stuff to do breakfast for dinner tonight, because I know that's something that my husband's really wanted lately. And I happened to, out of the blue, just make a batch that's just pumpkin waffle batter. So I have that currently in the refrigerator that I can do for like small little waffles if I want to. I'm not really going to be too hungry for anything because of this. I know, smart adulting. We're having milkshakes for lunch and dinner. I know. Let me enjoy myself, folks. I have had to limit almost everything that I have eaten since early summer. So I'm gonna have at least a little bit of an ice cream treat. But yes, quick update on the surgery. Had it on the 23rd. Went home that day. I did not handle anesthesia well. I never handle anesthesia well, neither does my mother. I just could not properly wake up. I know my hands were flailing a lot. I remember that. I remember not wanting anything at all. I did sip on some coffee because my husband made some. He was going to come back and check in on me, and then the nurses are kind of like, probably you might not want to come back in the recovery room, which is never a good sign. But I did sip on some coffee, so I was very appreciative of that. Slept for most of like 3 days because I was so tired. But other than that, it's not been too bad at all. I mean, it took me most of like 5-6 days to be able to stand up straight without pain, because my core just did not.
In 1.9 miles.
Because my core was just like so sore and tired. Like, it's not the fact that I had an organ removed. It's the fact you had to go through the abdominal wall. And oh gosh, it's hit the point now where like it itches a lot. it's all like little laparoscopic incisions, so it's not terrible. I think they use like a special kind of like glue tape to keep them closed instead of like sewing them closed. So I don't have any sutures, so they're just like thin lines that are just gonna heal on their own, which, you know what, given the fact that that's all over, I got like 3 spots in one area of my torso. With me being in the performance art that I'm in, I'm actually really happy that I'm not going to have the scars. Although at the same time, I could have had those tattooed to make it look like I had scar marks and everything for dance, which you never know. It would have been interesting. Healing wise, I've been pretty good. It's been 2 weeks roughly, and I have a meeting with my surgeon in 2 days, so I should get clearance to do several things after then, which I cannot wait for because I am itching to get back in the gym. Yes, I know I need to take it easy. Yes, I know I need to lift super light, but at least I'll get to moving around a lot then. I think this is only like my 2nd day with makeup on in 2 weeks. If that gives y'all any intention, like if that gives y'all any idea of what I've been like. As much as I would like to get these pumpkins set up tonight, I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but we'll see. So yesterday was productive, but today certainly was not. It is now the next day. It's Sunday. It's actually Sunday evening, super late. Today has been pretty much a bust. Nothing that I wanted to get done got done, all because I woke up with a headache this morning. So at least I went to the pumpkin patch yesterday and did all the things and got the front yard decorated, so I'll take that as a win. And I also kind of got the kitchen cleaned up, mostly just empty the dishwasher, put more stuff in. Still need to take it out, but I don't really have the energy. I will say that is perhaps the biggest pain in this entire process, has been how quickly I run out of energy, even though it's been 2 weeks. So that's the truly annoying part. But at the very least I can move around and do things, although my husband was not very happy yesterday when I went to try to pull the pumpkins out of the back of my car, because he's like, you should not be lifting these, and I'm like, they're less than 25 pounds. He's like, are you sure? Not really, but I'm fairly certain. I mean, it didn't hurt per se, but I get what he's saying. I'm meeting with my surgeon tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get the all clear tomorrow, or at least the restrictions lightened. I'm hoping it's gonna be that, because I would like to get back to a more active schedule. I also need to finish choreographing a small section for a choreography for the Stitching Collective, and I am so far behind on that that it's not even funny. So, that was supposed to be today, and then I felt like crap. So, but what I did get done was some tweaking of decor, and I can actually give y'all a little bit of a sneak peek as to what my decor is looking like. I mean, it's mostly done. Like, the main areas are mostly done, except for right back here, which would be the coffee bar. That's because I'm working on a project for that right now, that is currently on the dining table, rolled up. But I'm working on a project that needs to be done before I can fully decorate that. So that is my goal for this week, is to get that project done. So next Saturday, I can decorate the coffee bar. But in the meantime, I can at least give you a quick sneak peek at what everything's looking like so far. I won't explain too much, because I'll save that for the actual decorate with me, but I can at least show you. So this is the vibe that we have going on in here right now. Nothing has been cleaned. So you can see we actually have laundry out, but all of the orange and autumn and, oops, that's too bright. There you go. All the different orange and autumn and everything else. So we are vibing. Ignore the disaster area. This is perhaps one of my pride and joys. Although I didn't fully record the process of making this because I kept doing small bits of this on different days and different evenings. I didn't think it'd be a point, oh, it's just a small thing, I'm not going to need to record this, because I'm doing a little bit at a time, and then a little bit turned into a lot of it, and then I have a really cool area over there, and now I'm just like, I didn't record all of that. So I will explain my thought process whenever I record that for like the update. I actually do need to do that still, is record the areas that I have updated since I first decorated them, just because of some things that through living, like you have your decor, you have everything set up, I'm like, oh, this is how I want it to be, and then you live with it and you're like, it actually works better if I do it this way. That standing desk over there is one of those things, as is a couple other things around the house. Main bathroom done. Yeah, main bathroom is done, except for a few small things. Dining table was done before I removed a lot of stuff to do my decor there. And technically have a few small projects that I want to still do that are just more like finishing touches, but nothing really, truly big. Well, except maybe not. You'll see, or you might not. I don't know. I'm still debating one thing, but if I do that, I'm gonna have to experiment a lot with that. So we shall see. If I was smart, I would actually cut up one of these pumpkins tonight, because I'm gonna be making pumpkin soup for lunch tomorrow, since I'm working from home. And I think this is a 2-pounder, maybe 1.5, we'll see. Yeah, I'll guesstimate. But I don't think I want to go through the process of peeling all of that tonight. Not right now. So, one other thing I do want to actually worked on is been the, there's one cocktail I've been working on. Well, I started last night. I had the idea for it for a few nights now. I can't decide if I want it hot or if I want it cold. It'd make more sense if it was cold. It's a thing. But in any case, it is very autumnal. Lots of apple cider, bourbon, all the good stuff like that. So I can at least walk y'all through that right now, I suppose, since it is late at night and I would like something just refreshing. Of course, I'm drinking water, don't worry, I am drinking plenty of water, but something refreshing that I can at least wind down the evening with, so to speak. So give me a minute and I'll grab all of the ingredients for this. Let's see if we can get this started here. So the whole point of this is just to see what I can make with apple cider that is more than just bourbon, because it's always a classic pairing. And I kept trying to see if I could add orange to this with like orange curacao, and I just could never get it to work right. And I also know that I can mix whatever I'm doing with lemon juice and make it a sour, and that would work very well. Wait a minute. I could also, hold on. Have not used this yet, but I do know how it does work. Now I just gotta get it open. Essentially, if you want to get like a head of foam on your cocktails, one way of doing it is with egg whites. A shaken egg white adds a thicker mouthfeel to your cocktails. You could also do it with using aquafaba or chickpea liquid, essentially. Man, this is not wide open. But one other way of doing it is with this stuff, which is called bee foam. There you go, bee foam. So yeah, just a few drops of this, I think. 2 or 3 dashes, yeah. To make your cocktail fluffy. There we go. Last time, I should say last time, first time I made this, I had the bourbon and the apple cider 1-to-1 ratio with 2 ounces each. That turned into a lot of liquid. So, we're gonna try instead to make this 1.5. So that's, try that. 1.5 apple cider, 1.5 bourbon. This is also where we're gonna deviate because the last time, oh, I also gotta open you. At least you're easy. This is a new bottle of Ancho-Rays. It's a chili liqueur. I wanted the extra kink, God. No, I wanted the extra kick of spice. God. So last time I had 1 ounce, but since we're decreasing things, we're gonna decrease this also. So this is gonna be 1/2 ounce. Okay. All right, let's see if I can keep the rest of these right. So, it's 1/4 of allspice dram. Normally in tiki style drinks. 1/4 of rich demerara syrup. Technically I should have done this one first, because then I could use the rest of the liquors that I pour into this thing to actually wash out the syrup in there. Going metal on metal sound taste. Thank you very much. Alright, let's do the extra 1/2 ounce of this. This is where we start to get finicky. Why does it taste like I need more sweetener? Wait. Hold on. I also haven't added a dash of cinnamon yet. Boop, boop. I like a lot of cinnamon, okay? You know what? Let's do, there's not a measurement in here for 1/8 of an ounce. It's more like a bar spoon. But let's do that. I am not getting this to even out right. And I know I could fix this with some lemon juice. I'm just trying to avoid turning this into a sour. I think that does it. I do a lot of tasting as I go whenever I'm doing stuff like this, kind of figure out ratios. That means this is gonna be the pain in the butt. 1/4 of an ounce and then a bar spoon. I hate fiddly ratios like that. All right, now let's add the 1, 2, 3. Let's add foam. Let's see if that'll work the way I need it to. Fill this with ice, shake, and then pour. Glassware that had been chilling in freezer. Technically I should put this through a fine mesh strainer, especially if I want like the super frothy head. So I don't think the frothy head stuff did anything in this. Yeah, that's fine. It might actually need the sour in there to actually work the way I want it to. And because I want to be extra, can I balance? Will you float? Will you float? You float. You kind of float. I'll take the win. I don't care. For an extra seasonal bit of spice, fresh grated nutmeg. Just a hint. Okay. So, don't know what to call this, but this is what this looks like. And now we need to taste it. You know, squeezing some lemon oil across the top of this would probably help it, but I digress. Okay, I like that. That is a lot more balanced than the one I did yesterday. But I actually am gonna dash some more cinnamon on top along with the nutmeg. I'm not going to do any fresh grated cinnamon. And it's not going to be as pretty now, but at this point we're going for taste over appearance. That's pretty good. I might see about adding a 1/4 ounce of lemon juice to brighten it up. Maybe. I'm trying not to, but I know it would help it. For those of y'all that didn't know, yeah, I enjoy mixology. So I gotta clean up the now recently dirtied countertops here. And then I'm just gonna chill with my cocktail, whatever this thing is. Good morning. It is actually the next weekend. I think this is the second weekend in October. I think, unless I have a calendar in front of me, I can't figure things out, which I know is absolutely horrible. Wait, no, last weekend was the first week in October, so yes, this is the second. Coffee, folks. Coffee. I haven't had it yet. I am currently on my way to the farmer's market in town. And then after that, I'm stopping by Rose Bowl, where I'm assisting some fellow Bat Factory members. Bat Factory is our local goth organizing group, or goth group, that organizes a lot of events, such as our goth nights and special events in town. But we are going to be decorating the Rose Bowl for Halloween. I need to wake up. I actually did make pumpkin soup earlier this week, but I hate to say it, I actually had to throw it out. I have never had pumpkin soup, and I followed the recipe for years, the same recipe, but something was off, and the only thing I could think of was the cast iron, cast iron cauldron that I was using. Even though I had washed it, it had come pre-seasoned and everything, something, I don't know, it just did not taste right. That, and I think this may have been one of the times that I went with chicken stock instead of vegetable stock, and I'm fairly certain that also screwed up the flavor. So it just, there was just something not right about it, and so I'm gonna have to make it again. Heaven knows I have enough pie pumpkins in the house to make a couple of batches here. I just need to get the vegetable stock and or vegetable broth instead, to get it to turn out right. That, and I think it also may have had too much onion. I don't know. It just did not taste right. It tasted metallic, and metallic, only thing I could think of was the cast iron seasoning being off. So I might, before I use the cauldron again, I'm going to do a light oiling, season it myself, and then throw it in the oven and see if that fixes the problem. I'm hoping so, because I hate wasting things, and I put a lot of time, both actual time as in passage of time, as well as time the seasoning, as well as the time the herb in that, and it just did not turn out. So, though I am excited for one potential thing happening this weekend, later this weekend, is that I may be hosting my mother for dinner on Sunday because I realized she has never seen practical magic. And I need to remedy that because next weekend, the Hive, which is a boutique shop in Mahomet, they're a family of beekeepers who make their own honey and they sell their goods, both honey and I believe bath bombs. They also sell some books, clothes, jewelry. One of my favorite jewelry pieces that I've been wearing a lot lately came from them. But it's really neat. But not only that, they're also witchy. Like, I walked in and I'm like, oh, this isn't just witchy as in the aesthetic. You follow like the folk ways. Okay. It's so cool. So they're having a practical magic workshop on the 18th. And my mom and I are going. But I'm like, I want you to understand why so many things are going to be at this workshop, like a midnight margarita mocktail, and my mom doesn't know what a midnight margarita is. And I'm like, we have to fix this. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. And obviously I know there's like midnight margaritas, but I actually don't know if I want to make that, just because tequila, like, Mom and I aren't like the biggest fans of tequila. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll do a margarita. I'll do a good margarita. It's just, I would need specific food to go along with a margarita, and that, to me, is Mexican or anything of that within that realm. Looking at food that was in Practical Magic, the movie, okay? Mentioned chocolate cake for breakfast. Of course, midnight margaritas, the pancakes, and I can't think of much of anything else. Now, I know that they are in a town that's on the water, and I'm thinking it's Pacific Northwest for some reason. No, or is it Atlantic Northeast? In any case, they're on a harbor. So, fish. And I was doing some digging and searching last night because that's what I do. You give me a chance to do an actual themed meal, I will do a themed meal. And a lot of people play with the concept of put the lime in the coconut because of the midnight margarita scene. So like lime and coconut, okay. Lime and coconut for me means a curry. And so I have a vegetable-based lime and coconut curry that I made from that I got from HelloFresh a couple of years ago, and it's still one of my go-to recipes. I just change up the vegetables as I want to, or add protein as necessary. So I'm thinking of doing a shrimp lime and coconut curry, and then going from there. But if I do a curry, doing a margarita with a curry does not make sense unless I could figure out how to do an Eastern inspiration on a margarita. So I'm kind of playing around with a lot of different things, and if I do a dessert, of course attached with something involving chocolate cake, I will probably buy chocolate cupcakes because I just really don't want to. I don't want to bake on top of everything, because I'm also hosting a makeup magic or mayhem power hour for the Staging Collective tomorrow. Once a month where we get online and we actually practice our makeup, because I realized when we went to our retreat, I had heard so many people talk about how they never practice their makeup, their performance makeup, unless it is literally, like, unless they're putting it on their face for a performance that they're doing imminently, or putting on their makeup for a photo shoot. So they never really get to practice their skills. So I'm like, all right, I'm also kind of guilty of this. So let's do this so that we actually practice the things we need to practice. And it's also a time for us to chat and kind of catch up and discuss skills. Very much, because those are gorgeous. And I don't have any more space in my house, right? Like, I have a plan. It is a long plan, but I have a plan. I am now back home from everything. Got a lot of stuff done. Also got a lot of stuff at, well, a decent amount of things. Because I also got some groceries also from the farmer's market. But I can show that later. I realized while I was out that I wanted to start getting the items for tomorrow's practical magic dinner. And so that got me thinking, what's the menu going to be? And I figured out the menu, but I need to get some honey syrup, or some honey to make some honey syrup for my version of the midnight margaritas. And if we're gonna do that, and I've been trying to shop as local as much as possible, then we might as well stop by one of my favorite new spots in town, or close to town, called the Hive. It's several hours later now, because when I left the Hive, I then went and did some grocery shopping for tomorrow for doing the dinner and movie. And then I came home and I had to fight to not fall asleep on the couch. So dinner has been done, everything's been put away. So now, like I promised, I will show you what I got at the farmer's market, and also what I picked up while at Hive. Okay, so first off, this is an incense blend or a smoke cleansing blend of, oops, those are some cedar berries, I think. I'm actually not too sure what that was that fell off. There's not juniper berries, and I am blanking. But this is cedar and dried roses. The shop that this comes from, the owner actually makes all of her own items, makes all of her own salves and everything else out of her own garden. So I am all about stuff like that, so I picked this up. Next up, I got this coaster that they etched, of course, with some pumpkins and bats in the background. And speaking of pumpkins, this lovely magnet, like there's so many of these magnets that they had there. I wanted to buy so many more, but I'm like, let's be reasonable here, folks. Don't spend all that money. Instead, what I spent money on was this item, which is Nightmare Before Christmas. It is a lantern. Since my anniversary is coming up very, very soon. And our theme of our wedding was Nightmare Before Christmas. So, what this looks like on the inside, they actually did give you the lights to go along with this, so. This thing is gorgeous. So, this will be out here probably for at least a little bit, but this will more than likely go into our bedroom. Some baked goods, because I hadn't eaten anything yet this day, and so I desperately wanted food. So this one is a 3-berry jam pistachio shortbread shortbread bar. I can't wait to try this. I can tell you that the rye brown butter blondie was really, really good, because I had that before I went and helped decorate Rose Bowl for Halloween. That was fantastic. And while I was at Hive, I picked up some ginger infused honey because I want to make honey ginger margaritas for tomorrow. I also got some fresh produce while I was there, because if I'm gonna get produce, if at all possible, I like to do it at a farmer's market. So I got a bunch of red bell pepper. I got 5 of them of varying different sizes. And I also got, I think it turned out to be about a pound of green beans. I didn't need a pound, but I couldn't guesstimate without a pan in front of me. But I need that for the curry tomorrow, since I'm doing a vegetable-based one with adding in some shrimp near the end. So that's my little mini haul of farmer's market goods. I'm going to finish cleaning up around here, putting some stuff away, and then put on some lounge clothes so I can chill. Because when I get up tomorrow, I have some more stuff I would like to get done. And then, of course, as soon as afternoon, evening hits, I'm going to be pretty busy. So, I will see you tomorrow. Correction, you will not see me tomorrow. You will, but first, I actually realized I need to test this out. So, as you can see, change into loungewear. You can find this on Amazon. I know it was all over my social page, and I know I wasn't the only one. Yes, it is as comfortable as it looks. But I needed to make the honey that I bought into a syrup so that I could actually pour that for drinks tomorrow. Now, to make a honey syrup, you do a 1-to-1 ratio of honey to water. So I just weighed out equal parts honey and water, got it up to heat just enough that I started to see steam rise, and everything was fully incorporated, nothing too highly viscous in there. Took it off, let it cool for a little bit, and then bottled it here. So, now that I have this bottled, and I don't have the lid on this yet because I'm waiting for it to cool off just a bit more, so I don't want all this condensation in there. So, now that I have this poured, I need to try this. because I don't like making drinks with syrups that I don't know the flavor profile of. Yes, it's a ginger honey, and yes, I tried the ginger honey at the store, but by diluting this, how much did that affect the flavor of the honey itself? Anytime I need to try out new syrups, I like trying to make them in a gin-based cocktail. That way the flavor really shines through. Something that has a higher ratio of syrup than the cocktail itself. So my normal go-to is a bee's knees Prohibition era cocktail, which is gin, lemon, and a simple syrup. I've tested all of my syrups this way. My rose syrup, my rosemary syrup, my lavender syrup, my sovereignty syrup, which was an equal amount of the previous 3. All of them went into a bee's knees style cocktail so I could figure out how they tasted. Since I don't have any lemons though, and I have a lime, we're gonna do a riff on the bee's knees, which is called The Business. You're gonna be with me as I do this. Now, ideally, I would have a peeler for what I'm doing right now, but that is currently in the dishwasher, which you might or might not be able to hear. So, I know I'm probably cutting this a little too deep into the rind and into the actual fruit of the lime here, but what I want is to at least cut a strip first for my garnish, because yes, I like to be that extra. If I'm gonna make a drink tonight, why not? So, for the business, 2 ounces of gin. Currently using Bombay Sapphire. My go-to gin is the Botanist, but I am currently out. I'm actually almost out of Bombay. I need to buy more gin. Okay. Generally, you would not do your larger amount of liquors first, or your more expensive liquors first, but I wanted to make sure I had enough. As I said, I'm running low. All right, we're going to switch amounts here. So we need 2/3 of this. Now we need 1 ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. But before I put ice in that, I'm actually gonna make my garnish. We have a little something like this. I know, it's kind of confusing. Let's get some ice. Pour in. Shake. Chilled coupe. Technically a chilled Nick and Nora. Strain, pour. Technically I should be double straining, but the dishwasher's already going. I don't want to have to hand wash another item, especially something that's technically a strainer. Technically, yeah. Not bad. What's important is how does it taste? Ooh. Okay. The ginger and the lime are playing very well together in this one. The ginger is subtle, which is good to know for tomorrow, because that means that I'll need to muddle in some ginger for some extra bite. Now see, I would not have known that if I hadn't had tried this. Now I will see you tomorrow, after I clean up the kitchen again. House has been cleaned up, movie is over. Only thing left is for me to put my pajamas on and get comfortable, and also take this makeup off, which was actually inspired by a photo from the Practical Magic set. And it was only at the very end of the movie when I got up to start putting stuff away and I walked past a mirror that I realized that with my hair now cut shorter, and the curl now actually doing what's supposed to because all the damaged ends are now gone, I am now realizing exactly how vaguely reminiscent of Sally Owens I now look like. To which my husband told me, well, of course I've known that for years. I did not recognize that, so the irony there. But I think I'm going to call this video here. I had no idea what this video would be or how long it would be, but I did get a lot of fun things done for the month in it. We still have half the month left to go, and there's still quite a few things coming up. If you made it this far, thank you so very much. I hope that your October is going very well. I hope that you're enjoying yourselves. And I wish you a happy early Halloween and a blessed Samhain. So, I shall see you in the next one.